Are you looking to start making money online using affiliate marketing? Well, in this step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make a professional website to start your own affiliate marketing business. I'll be showing you exactly how I made this website here, complete with a stylish blog for sharing your affiliate links customized to your brand. I'll also be covering how to find the best affiliate products to share on your website, how to sign up and get your custom links, and how to effectively place them into your blog posts. I'm even going to share the best tools and techniques for growing your business and building your audience for maximum profits. So now that we've covered all of that, let's jump right into building an affiliate website now with step number 1, getting a custom domain name and web hosting. A domain name is just the address to your website. It's what people will enter into the search bar when they're looking for your site. So something like yourwebsite.com. And web hosting is just renting space on a server somewhere that's connected to the internet so that your website is actually online. Think of it like signing up for a phone service like Verizon. You have to get a phone number, and then you have to have service for the phone to be able to make calls. Same thing applies here. If you want to own your own website and have a custom domain name for it, then you have to purchase your own web hosting, which I'm going to show you how to do in this video, and I'm even going to give you a massive discount for it. Now, some of you are going to ask, can't I just make a free website? And my answer for you is simple. Yes. You can make a free website, but it does come with a lot of limitations. You don't actually own your domain name because it's free. It'll probably be something like yourwebsite.wix.com or squarespace.com, or it could even be a random string of numbers and letters that you don't even get to choose. You can't upload new themes or plugins to your website. You can't monetize your website with ads in order to make money from it. And your website could be deleted at any time because you don't technically own it. So for these reasons, I recommend web hosting because it places you in control. Now, to help you out, I have a special discount that I can share with you to save 78% off your first year of hosting, and you even get a free domain name just by using my affiliate link down in the description. See how that works? Affiliate link. Now, obviously, I do receive a commission when you use the link, but that's how we fund these free YouTube tutorials and are able to provide you with massive discounts on your web hosting plans, which can save you a lot of money in the long run. So in order to get your free domain and hosting, just click on the very first link down in the description, or you can go to createaprowebsite.com/hostinger, and it'll take you to a page that looks like this. And so this is my co-branded landing page that I have with Hostinger. So we're going to scroll on down and you'll see that we have 3 different plans in front of us. I always recommend the premium plan right here. And that's because you're going to be getting 75% off right here. You're going to be getting a free email, a free domain name, and then also a free SSL. So those are all 3 big deals. I really like using this plan, so I'm going to go ahead and click on select right here. All right, and now you can choose your period, and so I've got the 1 month, 12 months, 24 months, or 48 months. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set it up for 12 months because I want my hosting and my domain to both be charged every year. You also get a huge discount if you do the 12-month or up, and so as you can see, you're getting 78% off, and so you'll see that it goes from $111 all the way down to $32. It's ridiculous how good of a discount I'm getting, you guys. We'll scroll on down here, and again, I'm selecting the 12-month. Now we can create our account with Hostinger, and then right after creating the account, we can select a payment method, and you'll see that we've got credit card, PayPal, Google Pay, everything. Also, you want to make sure that you're using my coupon code right here, which is Create a Pro Website. That's what's giving you that giant 78% off discount. So if you went to the link that's in the description or, createaprowebsite.com/hostinger, that's what's getting you from $143 down to $32. So it's a big deal. Make sure you use that coupon code. I'm going to go ahead and enter in my credit card information and just enter in an email to sign up. And so I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, guys, and now Hostinger is just going to take a second to set up my account, which means we can move on to step number 2, which is to set up WordPress. So I'm going to click on Start Now, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on Skip down here at the bottom to save some time. And from here, we can migrate or create a new website, and so it's asking if you want to move a site that you already have or build one starting new, and so I'm going to say I'm going to build a fresh website right here. Okay, select a platform. I'm going to be using WordPress, so I'm going to click on Select, and now I can create my WordPress account. Really simple. And so I can go ahead and just use the same email that's hooked up to my account for Hostinger, and then I can set up my own password. So I'll see you guys in just a second. So now it's going to ask if we want to download a template, but I'm going to show you guys how to do this later inside your website. So let's just click on Skip the template. And now we can claim our free domain name. So I'm going to click on Select. And so we're claiming a free domain name because we selected the premium plan at the beginning. So if you use that premium hosting plan that I was talking about, which also gives you that huge discount, that's where you get the free domain name. So we're going to click on Select right here. And now I can try out a whole bunch of domain names to see if anything is available. And then I can click on Search to see if it is. So let's go ahead and try something like, and then I'm going to come over here and choose .com. And I recommend using .com because it's the most professional looking and also the most common that people look for when they're looking for a website. So that's why I usually do it. Of course, you can select from whichever one you want on this huge list. But again, .com is usually what I recommend if you can find it. And so I've got motoaffiliate.com and I'm going to click on search. Perfect. It looks like motoaffiliate.com is available. So I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. From here, I'm just going to click on finish setup and finish registration. Perfect. So now I'm going to give Hostinger just a second to register that new domain name. Okay, perfect. Looks like we are all done and we're ready to go. So I'm going to click on manage WordPress right here. Okay, and this will take you to the Hostinger H panel. Now, the H panel is just the back end of your website where you can make changes to your domain settings, DNS, and stuff like that. The first thing I'm going to do is come down here to SSL certificate because we have to click on install. And it's going to ask, do you want to install your SSL certificate to this domain name? And I'm going to say yes, and then it's going to do it in the background, so it's good to go. So as you can see, it's installing. So the SSL is the security or encryption for your website. And with some hosting providers, you have to pay for it. But with Hostinger, if you do that premium plan, it comes free with your website. So that's pretty sweet. Okay, so now that I've got my SSL active, I'm going to move on to edit my website over here in the top right corner. And then you're automatically going to be redirected to your WordPress dashboard. Now, WordPress is your CMS, your content management system. And so we're going to be managing all content on your website through WordPress. So this is essentially the part of your website, the back end of your website, that you're going to be dealing with the most. You can see over here on the left-hand side, we've got all the things that we're going to go to, like the blog posts on your site, the media, which is all your images and videos. We've got the pages of your website, so your home, about page, contact page, and all that's there. We've got the appearance tab, which is where our themes are. And then plugins as well, which is where we can add functionality to the site. So now that we're on the WordPress dashboard, we can actually move on to step number 3, which is to install a theme. So to install a theme, we're going to go over to the appearance tab and click on themes. And I'm going to open it up on a new tab like this, because I always like having a dashboard to go back to. We can actually close out of our Hostinger tabs right here because we don't need them anymore. We're only going to be dealing with WordPress from here on out. So over here on the themes page, you'll see that the default theme that's active is the 2022 default WordPress theme. And so let me show you what that looks like. We'll go up here to the top left corner, and over your domain name here, you can right click and say open on a new tab, or you can click on visit site. This is what your website looks like so far. And so as you can see, your theme is what really dictates most of what your site is going to look like. But of course, we're going to customize it later. But I just wanted to show you guys how big of a role the theme plays on building your website. So let's close out of that tab because that's a preview of our website there. So I'm going to change the theme to something called Astra. So I'm going to click on Add New Theme. And then from here, I'm going to click on the search bar and look for Astra. So here's Astra. And then I'm going to click on Install and Activate. Perfect. And now after clicking on Activate, you'll see that Astra is now the active theme on my website. So let's go ahead and see what differences that made. We're going to go up here and preview the site again. Perfect, and you'll see that it's completely changed the look of the website. Now, obviously, it's far from being done, but I just wanted to show you guys what changes we just made. So we'll close out of that tab here. And so now that we have Astra as the active theme, we can go ahead and move on to step number 4, which is to download a website template. Now, downloading templates is a great way to save a lot of time on building a website because you don't have to start from scratch. You can use a template and build from there and change it to be your own, and it saves a ton of time. So in order to do that, we're going to go over to the Plugins tab and click on Add New right here. So I'm going to open it up on a new tab and close out of the Themes tab right here. And so now you can see a whole bunch of plugins showing up down below, and we can search from the tons and tons that they actually have here. Plugins basically just add extra functionality to your website. So they're basically like apps for your smartphone. We're going to go over to the Search Plugins and type in Starter Templates. And you'll see right here, Starter Templates for Elementor, which is the page builder we're going to be using. And it's for Astra, which is the theme that we have. So we're going to click on Install Now and Activate. And then I'm going to click on Build Your Website Now, and we're choosing Elementor because that is the page builder that we're going to be using. So from here, you can see they have tons and tons of different website templates that you can use, and you can click on it like this, and it'll show you a preview over here on the side that you can scroll through, and then you can click on whatever page you want as well. And then this is how you get started here, but obviously this is a e-commerce store. I'm not going to be using this one, so I'm going to click on that X in the corner. Okay, So I'm going to scroll up to the top here. We've also got these categories that you can look through. And for an affiliate marketing website, we're going to want to build a blog website because we're going to want to put out a whole bunch of informational content for people to be able to read. So you can go ahead and just click on blog like this and it'll put it in the search bar, and now you're looking at a bunch of them. Or you could go through the actual different types if you actually see the one that you want to do. Like if you're about to make a food blog, then you could click on food blog, or, you know, a news site or a magazine or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to click on the X button. I'm actually going to be using this website right here, the We All Love Nature site. And so if you click on it, we can see a preview on the right-hand side, and we can scroll through here. It's a pretty simple website, which is what I wanted, nothing too crazy. There were a few of those other templates that look really cool, but they're very complicated, and there's a lot of different widgets in there. And so I wanted something a little simpler for this tutorial. So from here, what you can do is, if you already have your logo and your images and the colors that you want to use in mind, you can actually upload your logo before you even download the template. But I'm going to click on skip and continue because we're going to build a logo later on in the video. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on skip and continue here. And then you can also choose the default colors for the entire site. And so as you can see, as I click through these, it's going to change the purple button right here and the purple dash, and there's another purple button down here. And if I click on this red one, now it's all red, as you can see. And so you guys can choose what color scheme you want to get started with. I'm just going to choose this one right here because of the red, because that's what I actually want to use. And you can do the same thing with different fonts. You can click on these, and as you can see, the font changes as I am clipping on them. But I'm just going to stick to the default font right here. So I'm going to click on the reset button right there, and I'll click on continue. And now it's going to ask if you want to import all the customizer setting, the widgets, the required plugins, content, yes to everything. I just always uncheck this box, but you can choose not to if you want to. It's whatever you want to do. I'm going to click on submit and build my website. And from there, we're automatically downloading the entire template. It's going to come with all the pages, all of the plugins, everything. So very easy way to get started with the website. And I always recommend starting with the template. So I'll see you guys in just a second when it's done loading. Hooray! Congratulations, our website is done. So now we can visit our site right here. So I'm going to click on it just to show you guys. Now, if you go to our official domain name right here, as you can see, this is what our visitors are going to be looking at. So the template downloaded successfully. We can click on the About page. We go to the Services page, Contact page, everything. So all the contents here, all the images got downloaded as well. It's perfect. So now that we have installed our template, I'm going to close out of both of those tabs and go back to the dashboard, which, by the way, if you guys didn't open that on a new tab, let me show you guys how you can get out of starter templates. Up here in the top right corner, you've got exit to dashboard. You click on that, and it takes you back to your WordPress dashboard. But again, I don't like having to find all the exit buttons and the back buttons, so that's why I always just have a dashboard tab open and ready to go whenever I need it. Okay. So now that we're back on the WordPress dashboard, and now that we've also downloaded an entire template for a website, we can go ahead and move on to step number 5, which is to build your website. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. I'm going to go up to the top left corner and open up the site on a new tab. And so now you can see this is my website. And right up here, I'm going to click on Edit with Elementor, which is the amazing page builder that I was mentioning in the intro that we're going to use to edit this entire site. And so it's incredible, drag and drop, really easy to use. So let's open it up. And this is Elementor. I'm going to close out of this navigation tab because we don't really need that. Okay, so welcome to Elementor. This is the easy-to-use drag-and-drop page builder that I use for almost every tutorial on this entire channel. It's amazing. It's got so much capability. So let's play around with it a little bit. You can see over here I've got the widgets on the left-hand side, this menu over here, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff. I've got headings, images, videos, buttons, a Google Map widget even. I've got tons and tons of these. Look at all of them. And that's not even all of them. So what I'm going to do is just show you guys what happens if I drag them in. So all I have to do is click and drag like this, and I can add heading text right here, which is exactly how this nature one is done. I can click on this one and type whatever I want here, but I'm actually going to right-click on the blue pencil here and delete it. I could add in an image if I want to. I could just drag it in like this, and now I've got a picture right there. Or maybe I want, here, let me delete that. Maybe I want a video in my website. I could drag this in as well, and now I can insert the video link. So it's pretty simple to build whatever you want. And so keeping that in mind, if I can click on delete, keeping that in mind, you'll see that we've got, this is a heading widget right here, and so that's this one right here. This is another heading widget because it's just big text. This is a text widget, so a text editor widget right here. And this is a button right here. So if I drag the button in, you'll see I have another one right there, and I can set it to the middle, and then I can type out whatever I want right here. So it's pretty simple to edit your entire website. I'm going to go ahead and kind of edit the website quickly, but still explain everything that I'm doing. My goal here is to just show you guys how to use Elementor, not to build this exact website, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to be showing you guys how to make this exact website that I'm about to put together. I just want to show you guys how to use Elementor in its most basic sense so that you can create the best site for you. So over here in the bottom left corner, you'll see the update button, this green one. I'm going to click on update, and that basically makes any changes I just made live to the website. It saves it. So you'll see me clicking on update to save my work all the time, just so that, there's no errors where, maybe I accidentally close out of the tab and then I lose all my progress. So I always make sure I click on the save button, or well, it's called update, but you know what I mean. All right, so right off the bat, I'm actually going to be changing off, both of these heading texts are just fine, but I'm actually going to just delete this one because I don't even want to mess with it. And I'm also going to delete this text editor right here. And the way I'm doing this, by the way, is I right click on whatever I want whenever I'm hovering over this blue box right here, and then I can click on delete. If I want to edit something, I can just click on it, or I could click on this blue pencil icon right here, and it lets me edit it over here on the left-hand side. So I'll keep this heading widget right here. I'm actually going to right-click on it and say duplicate because I want 2 of them. I'm actually going to add a third one, so let's duplicate it one more time. And then what I'm going to do is go over here to the Rubik's Cube icon in the top right corner of this side menu here, and that opens up all my widgets again. I'm going to drag in what's called an intersection, which basically that just adds 2 side-by-side boxes. So now I can put a button right here, and I can put a button right here. And so the way I do that is I go back to my Rubik's Cube icon right here, and I can add a button right there. And then I could either go over here and drag in another one like this, or I could be smart and just right-click and say duplicate, and then drag it in. You guys see what I'm getting at here. I like to use that duplicate function, and then I'm going to delete this button right here. Okay, I know it looks a lot worse than what we started off with, but just bear with me, guys. We're going to make it look awesome. I'm going to click on this text right here, and there's 2 ways to change it. I can click on the left side, and I can type whatever I want, or I can just click right here on my website and just type whatever I want. As you can see, I'm typing directly on the page. All right, playground for daring people. Love that. And then I'm going to click on this one and type out something else. So let's try this. And finally, this one. Okay, everything motorcycles. If you didn't get it based on the moto aspect of my moto affiliate website, I'm making a motorcycle website. Okay, so now I'm going to actually edit these by right-clicking and saying edit on it. And then I've got on my content tab, I can center it or move it to the left or move it to the right. As you can see, that's my alignment. The style tab is where you can change things like the color, the size, the font, all of that stuff. The style of the text. And so from here, I'm going to leave the white color because that's perfectly fine, but I'm going to change the typography. I'm going to maybe reduce the size of this one. I'm going to change the transform to uppercase, and so now everything is uppercase like that. I might increase the letter spacing just a little bit. And I might even italicize it, just like that. Playground for daring people. And then this one, I'm going to do the same thing. Click on it and go to the Style tab. And then under Typography, I can change the size here. So I'm going to make this one huge like this. Transform it to uppercase, just like that. And if I want it all in the same line, I can just reduce the size a little bit. And then I can italicize this one as well. Let's level up your game. I can change the weight as well, so I can make it a lot more bold, as you can see, if I go to 900. So let's reduce the size again, so something like this. Next, I'm going to click on this one. Do the same thing. Go to the Style tab, Typography. I'm going to reduce the size a little bit, actually a lot. I'm going to make the weight way thinner, so something like 200. Uppercase. I'm going to italicize this one as well, and increase the letter spacing to pretty much max, actually, and then I'm going to decrease the size even more. So everything motorcycles right there. Next, if I want to edit my button, I can just click in that blue square like I told you guys earlier, or you can right-click and say Edit Button, or you can click on the blue pencil icon. All three do the same thing. And I'm going to go over here to the text, and I can change this to something like About Us, just like that. And then I can change the alignment to be on the right side of this square, and I'm going to keep that one on the left side. So now they're side by side like this. Now you guys can already see this is coming together nicely. So now that I've put the About here, I can go to the Style tab if I want to, and I could also edit the typography, and so I could make this all caps. I'm going to do the same thing to this button right here. So I'm going to click on it and change the text. Read more. And so this will be like taking them to the blog on my website. Go to the Style tab. And for typography, I'm just going to uppercase it. Perfect. And then I'm going to click on Update to save my work. Now the last thing I'm going to do is edit the section background. And so the way you do that, if you notice every time I hover over something, all these boxes appear. These little blue ones that my mouse is over right now, this is a widget. And so that's a heading widget, another heading widget, that's a button widget. And so you'll notice that every time I hover over a widget, the blue square appears. That's the widget square. And then all of my widgets are inside of what's called a column, which is this gray dotted line. And so I could right-click and say add a new column, and so now I've got a column on this side and a column on that side. But I'm going to delete it. So everything's inside of a column, and then all of my columns, so even when I had 2 of them, all of my columns are inside of this big blue square that spans the entire section, if you will. And that's actually called my section. So if I remove this column here. So the section has columns in it, and my widgets are inside the column. And so if I want to edit the background, I have to edit the section. And I can click anywhere out here to edit the section, or I can click on these 6 dots right here if it's a little bit harder to click somewhere. For instance, it could be like a different section. It might be a little harder to just click in the open and say edit. So sometimes you just have to go to the 6 dots. But I'll click on the 6 dots and I'm editing the section here. I can go to the Style tab. Well, first I want to make sure that this is fitting to the screen. So I'm going to click on Height and change it to Fit to Screen. And so now it takes up the entire screen right here. I think that looks really cool. Then I'm going to go to the Style tab and change my background image. It's pretty simple. I'm going to just click on Upload Files and Select Files, and now I can just upload files straight from my computer. And so I'm going to select my images here, and I'm actually just going to upload all of them at the same time and then just pick and choose as I build the website. All right, and so now after I've uploaded all my images, you'll notice that they're in my library, my media library. So I could go back to Upload Files and select some more if I want to, but if I go to Media Library, you'll see all my media. And so from here, I'm just going to choose some background images. So let's just pick this one for now and click on Insert Media. And boom, just like that, I've got my background image. And I think it looks really cool. I mean, that's a cool looking motorcycle too. And then I could click on Update to save my work. Now, right now, I've got it set to the classic background type, which is just an image or a color. But I could also do a gradient background like this, and then I could choose, 2 different colors. Let's do something a little bit more like white. And so now I've got a gradient background, as you can see. I could also do a video background and just insert a YouTube link. And then I can do a slideshow, which is what I'm going to do. And so now I'm going to choose this picture, and then maybe that picture, and this one from my media library, and then just click on Create New Gallery. And now you'll see that in order I've got green, then the orange, and then the green. But if I wanted to, I could change the order just by dragging them like this. And once you're satisfied, say Insert the Gallery, and now I've got 3 images in the background that are constantly going to change. And there we go. And so now it's going to keep changing there. I can change the duration here, and so if I want it to go, and this is in milliseconds. So 5,000 milliseconds is 5 seconds. So if I want it to go every 4 seconds, I can do something like this. It'll go a little faster. The transition is a fade, but I can have it slide if I want to or do something like that. But I kind of like that fade animation where it just fades into the next picture. And then I can also change my background size, which just make sure it's on cover because that basically stretches the image to the corners of the site. But it looked like it was automatically doing it by default. And then I'm also going to add this Ken Burns effect, which adds this cool zooming, as you can see, to the images as they swap. And I think it just looks much better. I think it's a really cool look. So I'm going to keep that. The last thing I'm going to do, though, is go down to Background Overlay right here. So if I close that, you'll see we were on Background. Just close it and go to Background Overlay. And you can see the other ones down here. That's what I did. And so for Background Overlay, it's got a black background overlay right now. You just can barely see it because it's at 0.2. And you can basically make it completely black or completely, lack of black. Transparent, if you will. But I'm going to do it somewhere around 50%, something like this, so that it makes the white text easier to read. And then click on Update to save my work. All right, so that's how I can edit the Elementor. That's how I can edit things in Elementor. You just click on it, and then you can do all your changes over here on the left-hand side. And you guys already know how to change all of the text functions. You can change your font right here, by the way. You click on this default right here, the font family, and I can choose whatever font I want. But you guys already know how to change the size, the uppercase, the italics, the letter spacing. And you guys already know how to edit buttons, and so you can click on them and you can set up the text. And then this is the link right here. So basically when they click on this button, it takes them to this link. And so actually let me show you guys that if I backspace that placeholder and just type in about, it's going to search automatically. So Elementor is going to search my website automatically and tell me that I've got 3 pages on my website and one of them is called about. Is that what you're looking for? And I say yes. And then it's automatically going to insert my URL here, which is pretty sweet. And so now that I've put in a URL or a link into my link box, whenever you click on the About Us button, it's going to take you to the About page. So let me show you guys. Do you ever want to preview your changes? You just click on this little eyeball next to Update. And so this is my website, right? And so I'm previewing it. If I click on About Us, now it's going to take me to the About Me page. So that's pretty sweet. And I could do that same change if I go to the Read More button. I could go to the content and put the link in for something else, which we're actually going to create a blog page later on in the tutorial, and so you'll be able to link that to there. Okay, so the rest of it, now that you kind of understand the basics of Elementor to some certain extent, I'm going to go ahead and scroll through here and just kind of make some changes a little bit quicker. But again, the goal of this is to just show you guys what's possible and how to make changes. It's up to you guys to customize your site the way you want to. And I've also got tons and tons, and I mean tons, of tutorials on the channel, on this channel, that show you guys more in-depth tutorials on Elementor, how to use it, how to build websites and stuff like that. So if you're interested, check out some of the other tutorials. This is just an image widget. As you can see, if I click on it, it says edit the image. And so all I have to do is click on choose image and I can choose from my library. And so I'm going to upload files. I've got 3 more, or I think like 5 more, or something like that. Go over here to my blog images, and I'm just going to select them all. All right, and then when my images are installed, I can just add them however I want to. So let's just add the gloves first. Then I can click on this one, click on choose image, and then I can add something like this cool motorcycle. And then I click on this one, and I change it, and I could add something like this cool helmet picture and say insert. And now, all of a sudden, I've completely made that section my own. Just like that. Pretty easy. I can click on this text right here, and again, I can just type straight on the screen, latest articles, or maybe recent articles, something like that. And you guys already know how to edit your text with the Style tab. And then I could maybe make these 3 different blog posts, for example. So I could say that this is the first blog post. And so, as you can see, if I click on it, all I have to do is come over here to the left-hand side, and I can change the top one, which is web design. And so you can see I can type whatever I want. And then I could also change whatever I want here, which is this little X script right here. And then if you want to change another one, you just click right here. And now you've got graphic design and content creation right here. And now I could scroll on down and continue to edit the rest of the website. So I'm just going to add a background by clicking Edit Section, change my style, and change my image here. And I could just put whatever image I want, which I think I'm going to use this one right here. And then I might change the position of my image. So whenever you're doing a background, you can change the position to be center like this. And so it aims at the center of the image. And then I'm also going to change the size to cover. And you'll see that it kind of stretches it a little bit better. And I'm actually going to make this one a fixed attachment. And so what that does is now as I scroll over it, you'll see it kind of locks it in the background versus scroll, which as you can see just moves with the website. So that's kind of cool. And then I'm also going to add a background overlay. But this time I'm going to make it more of a white color, maybe a little bit of red, something like that. That way it's easier to see the text right there. And then this is pretty easy to change as well. You can literally just click right here and change your text. And then you can also click here and change this image. And so it looks like it's this circle picture of her, and I could use, whatever picture I want. And I can scroll down here, and maybe I want to change this picture as well. So I'll maybe choose this one. Scroll on down a little bit more, and I could edit this one as well. I could edit the section here and change the style and choose a different picture. And maybe I want this one. And let's see, I'm going to change that to center. Much better. That's pretty cool. And then if I wanted to, I could change the color of this as well. If I could click here and go to the Style tab, and I could change the text color to be something else. So maybe something like white. Click on this one, go to the Style tab, and change this one to white as well. So that's pretty cool. And click on Update. Okay, so now we're done kind of making adjustments in Elementor. I want to show you guys how to edit the header and footer of your website. So after clicking on Update, I'm going to close out of Elementor here and go back to my dashboard. And from here, what I'm going to do is open up my site on a new tab. So again, you click on your link right here. And so now you can see the website is good to go and up and running, and it looks really cool. So now let's edit the header and footer of our website. So up here, I'm going to click on the Customize button, and that's going to be using Astro, which is our theme, to customize the top and bottom, kind of like if you're looking at a hamburger, it's like the top bun and the bottom bun. And so if I want to change my logo, it's pretty easy. I could click on this pencil while hovering over it, and it takes me straight to the logo. Or I could go to Header Builder, and I can edit the base site title and logo, and then also the transparent header also has a logo, which is more important because we're using a transparent header. If it wasn't a transparent header, it would just have like a white bar up here, but I kind of like transparent headers. I think they look really cool. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Off camera, I've already downloaded all my images and I have logos already built that I'm going to use for this tutorial. But if you're looking to build your own logo for free without having to download any software, you can open up a new tab and go to logomaker.com without the E, just like this. And this is a free software to build whatever logo you want. I also have multiple videos on the channel that show you how to use this. So if you search on my channel, how to make a logo, this video will come up. And again, it's really simple. You just click on Start My Design. I'm not really going to go into a tutorial on how to use this software here, but you've got your basic functions over here like text and shapes. So if I put a text right here and I could type whatever I want, I could put a shape, like if I want a circle. And so now I've got a circle right here. I'm going to make the world's worst logo. And then I can also go up here to the search bar and look at all of the millions and millions of graphics that they have. So I could search for something like camera. And then maybe I want this one. And then I could put the camera into the circle and resize it a little bit. This is the worst logo ever, so don't copy me. I'm just showing you guys that you can do this. And then whenever you're done, and then you can also change colors by going over here. You've got saturation, so it's like fully blue, and then black and white. So let's go just black. And actually, I'm just going to highlight everything and just change it to black. Okay, now my camera is black, so let me change it to white. Cool. Okay, so now I've got my logo here. I can click on the save icon in the corner and then ignore this because it's going to ask you to pay for a high resolution file. You skip it and say download the low resolution file, accept the terms, and you download for free right here. Download a free resolution file, and then you click on it and boom, there's the logo on your website, good to go. So that's how you can get a logo for free if you guys want to. I'm going to close out of this, close out of Logo Maker. Again, I've already got my logos ready to go, so I'm going to click. So now back on your website, we're going to go over to Header Builder and then Transparent Header. Click on Change Image for your logo, and you can upload your logo files. So let's go to my logo folder, take both of these, and I'm going to insert the white one. Done. And then I can also increase the size with my logo width right here. So I'll make it something like this, and it's got this cool motorcycle with a circle, Moto Affiliate, motorcyclegear.com, whatever. Okay. Now, we're not done yet with the logo. We've just put a white logo on my transparent header. But what if I've got a white background? Like, what if you open up my blog and the website's white? You won't be able to see my logo. So I'm going to go back, and then for the actual official site title and logo, I can change this one to be my black one. That's why I always save two, one white, one black. Click on Select. Skip the cropping. And now it's going to show, oh, wow, you've got this black logo. I'm going to throw it up there. Go ahead and resize it as if you were actually using it. And then click on Publish to save your work. But if you refresh the page, you'll see it should go back to the white one because it's automatically using the white one. There it is, as you can see, for the transparent header. So I just wanted to show you guys that's how it works. You've got two logos. One's for the transparent portion, and then the other one, which is the darker one, is for like if it was a white background. Okay. So now let's edit this over here, which is my navigation menu with a button. I can go to Header Builder, and you'll see that I've got my widgets down here. We won't get too in-depth on this, but I can move my menu over here to the center if I want to, and you'll see that now it's in the middle. And if I want the button over here, I can put it over there. It's, you can do whatever you want here. But I'm going to move the button over here and the menu over here. Click on the primary menu right here, and now I can configure it if I want to. But it's going to take me to a totally different place to configure it. And so let me show you where that actually is. So from your main menu, you go down to Menus, and you'll see Main Menu right here. And you'll see that I can completely customize my navigation menu. So I've got home, about, service, contact. If I want to change contact to the front, I can just drag it up to the top. And now it's contact, home, about, services. But I'm going to put it back at the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is completely remove the services page because I'm actually going to delete it from the site. So let's just remove it. And so now it's not up there anymore. So I've got home, about, contact. And then I want this button to be the blog. Okay. So I'm going to click on publish to save my work because so far the menu's done. I'm going to go back and back again. Go into my header builder, and I can change my button up here in the top right corner. And so let's go over here to button. And right now it's a phone number that you can call, which I'm going to completely remove. So let's go ahead and change the text to read articles, or maybe like latest articles. Cool. So then they can click on that, and it'll take them to the latest articles on your blog. And then you can change the link to actually be your hyperlink. Now, Astra doesn't work like Elementor. I can't just say about page. It won't search the different pages. I actually have to go grab my URL, which we're going to do later. I'll close out of that. I'm just going to leave it blank for now because it's not going to do anything. But soon, when we create the blog page, I'll be able to link it up to this button. Okay, we'll click on Publish to save my work, and that's the same thing as the Update button in the bottom of Elementor. So I'm going to click on the back button and back button again. So now we've edited the header up here and the button as well as the logo up here. The same thing applies to the footer at the very bottom down here. You just click on Footer Builder instead, and I can move my menu if I want to be in the middle, and now it's in the middle. It makes it look all terrible. I wouldn't really change the footer that much. It's pretty simple, and it's whatever you want. Change the copyright, so we can change this Love Nature. Obviously, that's not your website, so you might want to say something like, there we go, Moto Affiliate by Levi H, or something like that. That just came with the template. Same with this image here, as you can tell. So you just click on HTML, and it's just the image inserted in here. So I'm going to remove it. And then I could add media and choose my logo and say insert into the post. And now my logo is in the footer, as you can see. You can also click on it and resize it if you want it to be a little bit smaller. And now it's a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to click on Publish to save my work, and the footer is pretty much done because it's using the same navigation menu as the top of my website. The last thing I want to show you guys is how to insert your logo into the top little icon right here. It's a favicon or your site icon, aka it's both of those. You can go over here to Header Builder one more time and Site Title and Logo right here. Go down to the very bottom and you'll see Site Icon. Click on that, and you can select your site icon, and I'm just going to make it one of these two, so I'll just use the black one for now. Select. You'll want it to be relatively square because that's just what it's going to do. It'll also create your app icon as well. So I'm just going to click on Skip Cropping. And there we go. Now you can see that my logo is up on top of my tab. And so that's how you do it. Click on Publish to save my work. All right. So now that we've finished building our website, and it's pretty much done, of course, y'all's is going to look different than mine unless you just followed along for practice. But now that we're done building our website, we can move on to step number 6, which is to create your blog. So to do that, we're going to go over here to posts, like I was telling you about earlier when I was just kind of giving you a tour of WordPress. You've got your blog posts right here. So you can go ahead and click on all posts and look, and you'll see that there's automatically one just called Hello World by default, just automatically downloaded with WordPress. You can click on trash right here. It's really just an empty blog post. But I'm not going to do that just yet because I want to show you guys later on, just extra posts that show up on your website. So I'm just going to leave it there just for, placeholder purpose for now. But if you want to create your own blog post, we'll click on Add New up here in the top left corner. All right, and then it's going to open up the WordPress block editor, the infamous, the famous block editor. You can close out of this tutorial because I'm going to show you guys how to use it. All right, so the first thing we can do is add a title to this blog post. And, it could be completely anything you want to, but you want to make sure that, especially if you're going to start blogging, that you start to look up your keyword research and find out what terms, what keywords, and what titles are ranking in that specific industry. And so just like we talked about earlier, you'd kind of do your research, look at different websites and things like that. But let's just go ahead and make one up for now. Let's just talk about, top 5 motorcycle cruise controls, just like that. And then we could put like the whole 2022. Let's do that. Okay. So that's my title for the blog post, Top 5 Motorcycle Cruise Controls 2022. So that's how you add the title here. The next thing we can do is just click right here, and we could easily start typing if we wanted to, or we could backspace like this, and we can choose whatever block we want here. And so this is basically, you can think of this as like a Microsoft Word document or like a notes page or whatever. It's just a Word document where you could put text, images, videos, whatever you want. It's just the same thing as any other blog that you'd search. For instance, if I went to a new tab and I just searched for top motorcycle brands, or let's just do top motorcycle cruise control. If I were to click on one of these that looks like a blog, so the drive.com or something like that, reviews, you scroll through here, and that's basically what they have here. They've got some text here, it's like a table for comparing different cruise controls, an image, more text with some bullet points. This is kind of like a quotation or something like that, or like a quote, and then they go through here. And so if you're looking at this just as structure, not at, the colors and everything, it's just a, title, text, and they're just going through different products. It's a product review. So we'll close out of this tab. We'll go over here and we can do the same thing. I can click on the plus button and I can add an image, a list of bullet points, a gallery, a quote if I want to, or a heading. So let's add a heading. And we could say something like, maybe it's something like how to choose the right product for you, something like that. And then right below it, we could just kind of hit enter, and then we could enter in some dummy text. So let me just open up a new tab real quick and show you guys. We'll open up the dummy text lorem ipsum generator here, and I'm just going to take this big paragraph, Control-C, and Control-V. Okay, so mine's already starting to look kind of like a blog post. We've got our heading right here, and then we've got our text right below it, just like this. And then maybe we hit enter again. We could do a little bit more text, enter again. And then after we've been typing for a while, we could enter in an image. So I could click on this one right here, and I can upload it from my media gallery, just like this. So maybe I chose, this one. Or here, let's choose this one instead. Select. So now I've got this picture for my background here. And then we can change the alignment if we want to, which right now it's kind of just the full width. But if I reduce the size, you'll see that it's aligned to the left. But I could center it if I want to, or I could move it to the right, like this, all the way over here on the side. But I'll just say center for now, and we'll make it full width, just like this. All right. And then we'll add a new block down below. So let's just add a paragraph. And then let's add another heading here. And we'll just put something, I don't know. I'm just going to copy the first sentence right here. This is just to show you guys how you can actually put together a blog post. Obviously, you'd be putting real content here, not just a bunch of dummy text. But just for the sake of showing you guys, I wanted to show you how easy it is to start putting together your own blog post. We've got the title, we've got the, the first heading right here, and you talk about it for a little bit. And then you've got an image to demonstrate what you're talking about. And then maybe you come over here, and this is the next one. So let's just say this could be something like lock type cruise control. And then you would talk about it for a little bit, Control-V. And then let's go ahead and put in an image right here. And so what you could do is go over here to the a new tab and look for cruise control. And you'll see there's different types here, but this is the one that I'm talking about right here. So I could click this. And then from here, I could just take a screenshot of this if I wanted to. This isn't the most ethical. I wouldn't recommend doing this, but this is, again, just for example. So I could just take a screen snip of this, which on Mac, I'm doing Command-Shift-4. On Windows, you just open up the Windows snipping tool, but I just know that that's both ways on how to do it. Take a little screen snip just like this. And then I could go over to my website here, and I could insert an image. Upload, and let's go to recents, and there it is. Boom. And so now you might want to crop out, like this, all this stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys how you could put an image in here just for an example real quick. And then I'm going to reduce the size, so make it way smaller, something like this. And then what I'm going to do is click here and say align to the right, and it's going to throw it way over here. And then what I can do is continue to paste some more text around it. So click here, paragraph. There we go. And now you'll see that there's my image is over here. Let's go ahead and move it up to like this side over here. And so now it's parallel to my text. So this is how you can kind of have, your text on one side, an image on the other. I could do the same thing and put the image on this side if I wanted to, but let me show you guys what this looks like. If you click on preview up here in the top right corner and say preview on a new tab, this is what my post is looking like so far. So I've got my top 5 motorcycle cruise controls 2022. So that's the title right here. I've got all the metadata right here. I've got like the category, leave a comment, by, my username, which is the email, create a portfolio, but we'll just go ahead and skip on past that. I can change that later. And then I've got my first heading right here, some text. There's my image. I look down here, and as you can see, if you move the image to the right, you can keep on typing, and then your image will be over here on the right-hand side. So that's just kind of one other way of doing it here. So let's close out of that preview and keep going. I think that's pretty good for the first post. Let's go ahead and just leave it like this. To publish your post, you're going to go up to the top right corner, click on Publish, and publish again, just like that. Okay, and so now your first blog post is live and up on your website. Obviously, you might want to actually hire someone to write out an actual blog post for you, or you do it yourself. This is just, for an example. That's why I have all of this gibberish here, just to show you what it would actually look like if you were to try and actually create one like this. I'm just going to click on that X in the corner here and go back to my post settings. I'm also going to click on these and kind of reduce all of them. So now I've got kind of a clean menu on the side here. And so now it's nice and neat over here on the right-hand side. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is how you can use Grammarly to kind of improve the writing style of your blog, or just make sure that, you're not making any grammar mistakes or anything like that, grammatical issues. So Grammarly is a autocorrect function kind of thing. Let me go ahead and just open up a new tab and show you guys what I mean. We're going to search Grammarly right here. And so it's basically a writing assistant, and you can use it. It's free, and so it's going to do all these autocorrects and make sure that you're grammatically correct when you're writing out all of your blog posts. I definitely recommend it so that when you're speed writing all of your blog posts, you're not making any mistakes here. So let's close out of that tab, and I'll leave this one up just in case I need it. Okay, so now that we've covered Grammarly, you can go ahead and move on to adjusting all of your settings over here on the right-hand side, which are all of your blog post settings. So the first one is your permalink right here. The template you're just going to leave on default template. The only time you change the template is if instead of writing your blog post here, you decide to use Elementor, which if you use Elementor, you want to change the template to Elementor full width. And so that just means that you're using whatever you do in Elementor as the full width of the blog post. So that's the only time you change template. I'm showing you guys how to write your blog post here in WordPress, just like this. But if you ever want to, again, you could click on Edit with Elementor and create your blog post there. It's just easier to write a blog post using the block editor rather than Elementor, because with Elementor, you'd have to drag all your widgets in, customize everything the way you want it. It's just a little bit more uniform when you use this. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to default theme and just close the template. Okay, so the permalink, you're just changing what the, all this stuff that follows behind your website whenever they open this specific post. So to edit your permalink, you'll see right down here, we actually can't change anything. We're going to go back to our WordPress dashboard, go down to settings, and then click on permalinks. I'm going to open it on a new tab just like this. First, I want to change my permalinks down to post name, just like this, and click on save changes. Okay, and then close out of that tab, and I can just refresh all of these tabs if I want to. Okay, so now you'll see under permalink, I can actually change my entire permalink. So right now, what you would see when you preview this, let's click on update, and then I can just preview, open on a new tab. You'll see motoaffiliate.com/top-5-motorcycle-cruise controls, blah, 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 all of that. We can change what this looks like. So we're going to close out of this preview. You can kind of shorten your slug if you want to, like top 5 motorcycle cruise controls, or top 5 cruise controls, something like that if you want to. So that's how you can change the permalink right here. Next is categories. And so if you want to add a new category, so let's just say that we want a cruise control category under my reviews, or I could have a reviews category. You can get pretty creative with this. I could have a motorcycle category, a gear, and then one is helmets and one is gloves, and all of that stuff. You can categorize however you want to. The way that you do that is you click on add new category, and let's just say, gear, something like that, as a parent category. And now I can click on add new category, and I could type in another one. So let's say cruise controls, just like this. And then I can choose my parent category as gear, and now add new category. I can click on update to save my work and refresh the page, and it should pop up here. Perfect. Now you'll see that cruise controls is underneath gear, and then maybe instead of cruise controls, I've got something like gloves and then helmet. Let's create it. So let me just show you. We'll say helmets, something like this, under gear. Add new category. And then we can create another one and say gloves under gear. Add new category. Update to save my work. Refresh the page. And voila. Now gear has multiple categories under this big category. Obviously, I'm going to uncheck gear, the gloves and helmets, because it's not either of those. It's cruise control. But you'll see that's how you can create categories, just like that. I'm also going to uncheck uncategorized. Click on update to save my work. Okay, and then upon doing so, let's click on preview and open in a new tab. You'll see that now I've got my categories right here. It doesn't say uncategorized. It says cruise control gear. So I could click on gear, and it would show me all of the blog posts that I have that are in this category, and then cruise controls, and that's the category. And so I'll show you guys all of this later, but I just wanted to show you guys how to create your categories. Okay, so now that we've added some categories, we can go over to tags. And now you can add tags to your blog post. And so basically, when you have a search bar on your website, you're searching for either tags or keywords that are already in the blog post. These tags are how you can basically make sure that this pops up when people search for something. So you have to kind of anticipate what people are searching for. So let's just say there's a search bar on my website and someone searches cruise controls. Well, I want this article to pop up because it's completely about cruise controls. So maybe I'd put on here cruise control. Okay, so that's a tag. Maybe I would say something like motorcycle, something like that. So now if they put any of these into the search bar, this post is going to pop up in the search results on my website. So you want to make sure that every time you add a blog post, you add as many tags as possible that relate to the blog post so that people can find it on your website really easily. So that's how you can add some tags. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that one out. Next is adding a featured image to your blog. And so you can click right here and it's pretty easy. You just set the featured image. You click on it and then you could add whichever one you want. Let's just say I'm going to add this square image, which doesn't have actually cruise control on it, but it's just a square image of handlebars. And then I can click on update to save my work. Let's go ahead and refresh and it should pop up on top of my blog post. If it doesn't, that's because it's on the preview. So if I go over here to preview and open on a new tab, you'll see that boom, there's the featured image. And then it goes straight into my article here, right? Now, obviously, if you don't want this, you can always remove it. And the way you do that is click this checkbox. It shows the featured image in the post lists, but it hides it on the actual post. And so if I click update and preview, now you'll see that the image isn't there when I actually look at this specific post, but if I'm looking on my website at all of the posts on my site, you'll see each featured image. And so that's pretty cool. It'll help a little bit more when we actually create the blog page in the next step. But for now, there's your featured image. Close that one and click on update to save my work. All right, so now that we have finished kind of making the changes to our blog post, we can play around with the layout and colors of the overall blog post look. And the way we do that is actually in our Customizer tab under the Astra settings. So I'm going to close out of my blog post here. From here, I'm going to go over to Posts and open up all of my posts, just like this. So now I can see top 5 motorcycle cruise controls right here. And I'm going to click on View. And then from here, I'm going to click on Customize. And so you'll notice whatever page I'm actually on is what I'm going to be customizing when I click on that Customize button. So now I'm customizing this right here. But of course, I can still build the header if I want to, and I can do whatever I want, but that's just the page that's displaying. From here, we can go over to the blog, single post, because this is a single post that we're looking at, and I can play around with the container layout. And so this gray box back here, you can see that I can choose different layouts. I could do content boxed full width, and it's gonna be constrained, but then I can also do full width stretched, and then it takes up the entire page. So you can see that you can play around with different layouts. I'm going to stick to the default one. You can also add a sidebar, which I would recommend. I think they look really good, and it also helps with navigation of your site just overall. So you can add a left or a right sidebar. So I'm going to add a sidebar to the right. And then your default sidebar is going to appear on the right-hand side, as you can see. And there's the search bar that I was talking about. And so if you were to search, anything that we put as a tag for this blog post, this one's going to pop up. And I'll show you guys that in just a second. And then we can go down here and we can actually see the structure of our blog post. And so right now we've got the featured image, which is not visible because I checked that checkbox. I can also see the title and blog metadata. And so from here I can just click on the eyeball icon and now it just removes the metadata and the blog title, but I actually leave that on there. I can also change the meta. So all of this right here, I can change the order of it and what appears and what doesn't. So I can add a publish date if I want to. So now you can see the publish date. I don't really like the whole leave a comment button, because if they just scroll to the bottom, they'll see the option to leave a comment. So I don't know why you'd put it up here. So I can also rearrange everything by just dragging it like this. But I can leave the category and then it's by Create a Pro Portfolio, but it's just Levi and then August 3rd, 2022. And then you can also enable related posts. So if I click on this button down here, it's just going to add a related section at the very bottom, which you don't see because I have no other posts on this website, just the one. But if I have a second post, you'll see that they start popping up here as related. So once they're done reading this one, it'd be like, hey, you want to check out top 5 gloves? And then you can click on it and look at the different gloves. So we're going to click on publish to save our work here. Now I want to change the colors of my blog post. And it's actually the colors of the entire website, which is cool. You can do it all just from one place. We'll click on the back button here and we'll go to global and then we'll go to colors. And this is that global color palette that we chose at the very beginning when we downloaded our template. And so you'll notice that whatever colors I change here, they're going to change everywhere on the website. So let's just change everything to sharp blue and blue. Perfect. Now you'll see that everything has changed to blue. I've got the blue button, blue links everywhere, just like that. Another blue button, the link and everything. So that's how you can change the overall color of the website. It's just by changing the 2 highlight colors right here. If I go here, let me publish to save my work real quick. If I go over to the homepage, you'll see that the colors of the entire website have changed. So now I've got blue buttons here, a blue dash, and another blue button down here. And then I could change this to whatever I wanted. If I wanted it to be all green. So now all of my highlights are green, you know, which actually kind of fits really well for that first motorcycle picture. I kind of like that. So actually, I think I'm going to leave it as green. And then again, if I were to click on the back button and customize this one, you'll see that my global colors have changed again. So now it's all neon green for my blog post. So that's how you can change the colors here. Again, global, and then go to colors. You can also change everything else. So I've got all of these colors here. You'll see that the background, the site background is white. And it's automatically, when it's got that globe icon, it means it's pulling from my color palette rather than me just doing this, right? So I can change it to be pulling from my default here. I can change this color to be pink if I want to, and now the background of these boxes is pink. Okay, let's just go back to gray. And you can change whatever colors you want here. You can change the borders, body text, links. And so that's how you can change the colors of your entire website. And so that includes the blog posts as well as the homepage, as well as the about page, the contact page. These colors are linked throughout the entire template that we downloaded. And so you just have to change the 2 colors here and everything changes to be completely customized to your own. And you'll notice that these are hooked up even through Elementor to take these colors. And so if I'm editing my website through Elementor, maybe don't change the colors of these in Elementor because you know that you can have everything linked up to these 2 colors throughout the rest of your site. But you can also take that the opposite direction. And maybe you want to change this color to red, and this one stays whatever the color is of the entire website. So this is the only red button on your website. And you could do that by just changing it individually in Elementor. So I'm going to click on Publish to save my work. So that's how you can change the colors of your blog post. Last, let's go ahead and change your author information. So if I click Exit here, and we'll drop down to Users and look at all users. And then you'll see Creative Pro Portfolio is showing up. I can click on Edit, and this is my actual user account. This is my account for this website. First of all, I can change my nickname, which I'm definitely going to change it to Levi. And then I can also change my biographical info. So I could write out a little description about myself and include a profile picture. Levi is awesome. And then lastly, before we save these changes, I'm going to go over here to display name publicly as and change it to my nickname. So now it's pulling Levi. And you'll see that it just changed it right there. I don't know if you noticed that. It was showing the whole email, and now it's showing my name because I told it to. So now I'm Levi. Levi is awesome. I've got an avatar. Scroll on down and say update or save your changes. And we'll close out of this tab. And we'll come back to this and refresh the page. And now it says, well, it's kind of hard to see it, but right there. Cruise controls gear by Levi. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of users as well. All right, so next I wanted to show you guys how you can mess around with your sidebar here, which as you can see, it's all boxed and everything. We can change all of these different widgets and put whatever we want or change the order. It's really easy to do. We'll go over to the Customize tab right here. And you can click on Sidebar, and you can choose the default layout, which is left or right, and then the width of it, so I could kind of reduce it to be a little bit more narrow if I wanted to for some reason. But I'm sure you guys are going to want to know how to actually change the order of it and everything, and the way to do that is you go over to Widgets, and you'll see Main Sidebar right here. And now you'll see all of the actual widgets in my sidebar. So if I wanted, my search bar right here to be a different order, I could click on it, use these 6 dots right here and drag it into a different position. So maybe I want it right here instead. And so now recent post is on top and I've got my search bar as the second one right here. But that's actually not what I want to do. I kind of like my search bar on top like that. Maybe recent posts might be nice so they can see different ones. Comments, I'm just going to remove completely. And the way you do that is you just click on what you want to remove, click on the 3 dots, and say remove. And I could even remove this block by clicking on the block as best as I could. I was trying to. Click on the 3 dots and say remove group. And so now that box is gone too. So I also want to remove archives. And just remove the entire group. And so now I've got recent posts, categories, and a search bar. So something pretty simple. So that's how you can remove items from your list, but you can also go down here to the plus button and you could add something. You can add whatever you want. It's the same thing as the block editor here. So if I wanted to add an image to my sidebar, I totally could. Go to my media library and I could insert, this picture right here if I wanted to. And so now I've got recent posts and there's a picture just randomly on my sidebar. But I just wanted to show you guys that you can add whatever you want. So let's remove this image. All right, so now that you guys understand how to use your sidebar, let's go ahead and talk about comments on your blog posts. So as you can see at the very bottom, people can come down here and leave a comment. So I'm logged in as Levi. Do I want to log out? Now, because I'm the one who built the site and I'm already logged in as the admin, if I were to write a comment here, it's just automatically going to post. But let's see what happens if someone goes to my website. Because we haven't made it accessible through buttons because there's no way to get to the blog here yet. So we'll do that in a minute. And so now we'll scroll down to the bottom. You just read the entire thing and I want to leave a comment. And so right here, by default, you'll see that they have to enter in all of this stuff to be able to actually leave a comment. If you want to do that, you can make required fields like this, but that just kind of like it's like a barrier to entry kind of thing. It makes people, it's more steps to try and leave a comment when they could just type and post a comment. So if you want to change that real quick, let's get back to our website, go to the dashboard. We can go over to settings and drop down to discussion. And then from here, under other comment settings, you'll see that the commenter must fill out name and email. You can uncheck that box. And then you can also remove the whole opt-in checkbox right there. And that's good. Okay, so we'll scroll down to the bottom and click on Save Changes and close out of that. So now we're scrolling down to the bottom, and they're actually no longer required, but as you can see, it still shows it. So what happens is I leave a comment, something like, hello, and I post the comment. Okay, so it's not going to show up just yet because I have to approve it first. So we'll close out of the incognito tab, and we'll go back to our dashboard, and we can refresh the page if we want to. And now you'll see that comments has a little notification ping. And so we'll open up our comments onto a new tab. And from here, an anonymous commenter, because I didn't put my name or whatever, says hello. And so I can either trash it, or I can spam it, or I can approve it. And so I'll click on approve, and now it's on the website. So if I open up my site on a new tab, and I go to that blog post, so actually I have to go over to posts, all posts, and view this one. And I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that one of the comments has popped up. And here it is, anonymous said hello. So that's how you can approve or deny different comments on your website. No matter what, they won't be able to leave a comment on your website or on your blog post until you approve it or, of course, deny it. And so you're kind of in control of your own comments there. So that's how you do that. Let's close out of it and go back to our WordPress dashboard. Okay, so now you guys already know how to create your own blog posts, how to write it, how to use, third-party software to make sure that you guys have the correct grammar when you're writing them. You guys know how to edit the permalinks, the tags, the categories, featured image, all of that. So you know everything you have to know about blogging on your website. So that being said, we can move on to step number 7, which is to add a blog page. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to go over to the Pages tab, and then I'm going to click on Add New right here and open it up on a new tab. And then I'm actually just going to close out of this page as well because I don't need it. Okay, so now we're creating a new page. So we're first going to title the page. And so I'm going to call it, I could call it articles or I could call it blog. I'm just going to call it blog. Okay, so that's the title of the page. That's all we have to do. And now we can go over to publish and publish again. Done. All right, so now we're going to click on edit with Elementor because we're going to edit the entire blog page in Elementor. So now we're in Elementor. From here, you can download a template or you guys can do whatever you want here. I'm just going to build it from scratch really fast because I think it's just going to be really easy. But of course, if you want, you can click on the gray folder icon here, go to Pages, and you'll notice that they have a ton of different pages. Some of them are pro, so you'd have to pay for it. So go for the free ones like this one where there is no pro icon. And you can see that there's tons and tons of pages here that you can look at, and you guys can just pick whichever one you want. Okay, so to build one from scratch, I'm going to click on the plus button and then start with my own column here. And then I might just make this a minimum height just so that I can set it up the way I want to, something like this. And then I can add like a heading right here. And then I can put into my background an image. I'm going a little fast here because, again, the point is to show you guys how to do the affiliate website, not necessarily how to use Elementor. But, again, I'm doing everything that you guys learned at the beginning. I click here on the Rubik's icon, and I added a heading widget here. And now I just right-clicked on the section, so now I'm editing the section. And I chose Classic right here. And then I'm going to select an image from my library, and let's just pick just any image. It doesn't really even matter. Let's just take this one because it looks cool. Okay, Insert. And then I'm going to change this position to the center of the image, so now I'm focused right here on the seat of the bike. But, so next we're going to go over here to size and then change it to cover. And so it kind of stretches the image to the background, something like this. Actually, I don't know if that's the best one for this one. Maybe something like this. Or actually, this one might even do better because it's a little bit more rectangular. Yeah, kind of. You guys can pick and choose whatever you want here. Let me try this one. No matter what, it's just really scrunched in there, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go to background right here, the overlay. I'm going to darken it like crazy, so let's go ahead and add a color of just black for now. And the way I did that, again, is click right here, drag it into the corner, and that's just my color right here. And then I'm going to increase the opacity just to where it's pretty dark. And now I'm going to edit my heading. All right, latest articles. And we'll center it, go to the Style tab. I'm going to change the text color to white. And increase the size a little bit. I'll probably capitalize it, increase the weight a little bit. Perfect. Something like that. Latest articles. Done. That's how you create a section in, less than a minute or two. Okay. So now that we've done this, we're going to go back to the dashboard right over here. And again, I always keep a second tab open. But if you didn't, you can always click on the hamburger icon and then click on Exit to Dashboard right here. Okay, so we're back on the WordPress dashboard here. We're going to go over to Plugins and Add New. You guys know the drill. We did this for the Starter Templates plugin earlier. And this time, just search for Elementor. All right. And it should be the second one that pops up right here, Essential Add-ons for Elementor. And that's what we're going to use. So install and then activate. All right. And now that we've done that, we can just close out of that tab. And I'm going to refresh both of the tabs that I have open. So my dashboard, just because. And then Elementor as well. So let's go ahead and refresh this page. It's going to ask you want to reload the site. So first I need to update. That's why it's asking that. So that was my bad. Let's save our changes and now refresh the page. And now that we're reopening Elementor, it's going to pull from Essential Add-ons, which basically the plugin we just downloaded was just add-on plugins for Elementor. It's basically just extra 50, I think, or 40 plus widgets that we can use in Elementor. And so if I close up all of these tabs, you'll see one of them is called Essential Add-ons right here, as you can see. And when I click on it, these are all of the plugins that we just downloaded, or the widgets that we just downloaded, and you can see that there's a ton of them. So we're going to be using one called the Post Grid. So let me go ahead and open up most of them again so I can get to my widgets when I need them. So we're going to search for Post, and you'll see it right here, Post Grid, and it's got a little EA in the corner, which means Essential Add-ons, and so I'm just going to drag that bad boy in here. And there we go. It's automatically pulling the blog post that I have on the website. And if you remember, let me just show you guys here and go over to Posts on a new tab. It's pulling these two because it's pulling just any blog post I have on this entire website right now. And so I've got only two, the default one and then the one that I just created. And off camera, I might create a couple more just so that you guys can see what it would look like, but you already get the idea. We've got the featured image that pops up right here, and then the title, and then we can see the author and all of that stuff. Now, we can completely customize this post grid as well. The first thing we could do is we can right-click out here and say Edit the Section, and I could change it from boxed to full width if I want to, and now this entire thing is taking the full width of the screen, which, depending on what you want to do, you could either do that or not. But I think I'm going to stick to boxed, just because it's a little bit more neat and centered like this. And then basically the way it's doing it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There would be 4 more underneath it or whatever. So we can go ahead and click here again and say Edit the Post Grid. I right-clicked and said it, or you can click on the blue pencil icon. And now we can set up a query, which a query is basically, you set up different filters, and it can choose based on those filters which blog post to show. So maybe you only want ones from one category, which could be cruise control. And so the only blog posts that have cruise control category will show up. And so now, as you can see, only this one is showing up because the Hello World doesn't have that category. and so on. And so you could add categories, authors, so maybe you only like one author to be on your blog post. And again, you can put this widget anywhere. You could even put it onto your homepage if you wanted to. I'm just creating a special blog page. But so that's how the query works here. And you can also change the source. So right now it's taking sources, but you could take pages, landing pages, all of this stuff. It's actually a pretty useful plugin. But again, we're going to stick to blog posts. You can choose the layout settings, which I'm not going to go too far in depth on, but as you can see, there's a ton of them. You can change things like the image height just by dragging this here. You can change whether or not you want to show the image. So that now there's no image here versus showing the image. The layout, which right now is masonry or grid. We can do how many columns there are. So right now it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I had 2 more, they'd appear right here. And so I could choose to only show 2. And okay, so that one's doing something funky there. I could show 1 maybe. And it's still doing something funky. That's weird. I might have to refresh the page. That's probably a glitch. But we'll go back to 4. And so, again, you can go down here and you could say not to show the title, which I would recommend showing the title. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But as you can see, you can go through all of these and you can show what parts you want. So maybe you don't want to show the author or, you know, the little excerpt here, the description, or whatever you want. You guys can customize it however you want. We can also go over to the Style tab, and then we can choose things like the colors and stuff like that, or also the font and stuff. So here we can select a style, so Style 2 or Style 3, and they just make it look different. So if I click on Style 2, for instance, doesn't look that much different except for the picture's not there. And then let's see what Style 3 looks like. Okay, so now it does like a little, okay. Not that big of a difference as you can see, but they've got some different styles that you can choose from, and then I can choose the spacing between. So right now it's default, but I could increase it if I wanted to. I could add border radius, so it would kind of curve the edges if I wanted to. I can choose the thumbnail style, meta style, let's see here, color, typography, and spacing. So this is what I want to show you guys. You can change the title color, which right now is black and blue, and so you can see the black and the blue. So maybe you want your title to be black, and then when they hover over it, it goes to that neon green that we had. And so I click on the globe, and I choose from my color palette. And now when I hover over it, it goes neon green, something like that. And then we could change the typography as well if we wanted to increase the size of the title maybe, or if I wanted to increase the description size or whatever. I've got it right here, as you can see, excerpt style. And so I can change the content height, all of that stuff here. Okay, and then I can also do a hover card style. And so now as I hover, you'll see that it does this little arrow icon. Maybe instead of the arrow, you could do something like a pen, or you can choose whatever icon you want. Or you could just completely remove the icon by clicking on this little trash can. And then you can change the background color. So right now it goes to this dark black, but maybe what if you wanted it to go neon green, something like this. So now every time I hover over an image, it goes neon green. Something like this. That could be kind of cool. All right. And then we can also do the read more button, which I think the read more button would show up at the bottom here if there were more. So if there were more blog posts than there were columns. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. If there was a 5th blog post, there would be a read more button where you'd click it and then you could see all of the blog posts. But obviously it's not there because I only have the 1 blog post. And so I'm going to click on update to save my work here. Okay, so really quickly off camera, just so I can show you guys, I'm going to create 2 more blog posts that are completely empty, okay? But I'm going to just go ahead and create 2 more just so that they fill up the space here, so give me just a hot second. All right, guys, off camera, I just created a couple more blog posts, so I actually even edited the Hello World one, so now it looks like we've got some blog posts on here. And again, if you actually click on the blog post, let me show you guys, you didn't miss anything. They're completely empty. Like here, hottest gloves, let's view it. There's nothing there, just a picture. There's no text, there's nothing here. I just added an image and a title, that's it. Okay, so now we've got our blog page and it's done. The last thing that I could probably do is maybe go here and edit the section. And then I'm gonna change this to a minimum height here. And then I might just increase a little bit so there's a little bit of spacing between the top and the blog posts here. Another way of doing that, if I didn't want to do, using a slider like this, is I could go over here to the Advanced tab and I could add some margins and padding. But I didn't really want to get into that right now. Okay, so I'm going to click on Update to save my work. All right, so now that we've created our blog page, or the latest articles, however you guys want to do it, now let's go ahead and hook that up to our navigation menu. And so if I open our website up on a new tab, and so I go over to the corner again and I click on my site title, let's hook up this button to actually take you to the blog. And then also let's do this button as well. So we're going to go over here to Edit with Elementor. So I guess I'm doing this backwards because Elementor is where I'm going to edit this button. So I'm going to right click on it, say Edit Button, and let's search for blog. And if you remember, Elementor is going to search, and now I have a page called blog, and so I click on it, automatically inserts it, click on Update to Save. So I'm going to close out of Elementor, and now I'm going to open my site up on a new tab again. So now this button should take me to the blog. Perfect, it does. And now also notice it's using our black logo when it's not on a transparent header, and so that's where I also wanted to mention to you guys. That's why you have two logos, because if this was a white logo, you would not be able to see it there. Okay. So now, let's go back to the home page just by clicking on the logo. Let's edit this button here. So we have to click on Customize, and that's going to open up the Astra settings, and we're going to go to Header and Footer Builder, or the Header Builder, I mean, and then we'll click on, let's see, the button right here. So you can click on button down here, or you could just click on button right here. Either way, get you to the same place. Latest articles, let's insert our link, which we actually have to go and grab. I forgot this one you cannot search just like you can in Elementor. So let's go over to Pages and open it up on a new tab. And then from here, I'm going to click on View to take a look at my blog page. But really all I want is the hyperlink up here. So I'm just going to copy the whole thing, Controller-Command-C, and I'm going to paste it into my customizer, Controller-Command-V, and publish. Done. Another thing that we could do is say open on a new tab, and so every time you click this button, it opens up a new tab so that the home page is still open. That's completely up to you guys, but I'm just going to leave it and close out. Okay, so now if we go to our website, you can go ahead and click on this button right here to read more, and it'll take you straight to the latest articles, or go back home. You can also click right here, latest articles in the top right corner, and it'll take you to the blog. And then you can, from here, of course, click on whichever blog you want to read, and now we can read through it. And then we can see the comments and everything. All right, so I think everything's looking pretty good so far. So we've already edited the navigation menu and also this button. If also we wanted to hook these up, let me just show you guys really quickly how you do that. Let's open up Elementor one more time. And then you could scroll on down here, and you could say, let's just do the motorcycle one first. So I would say I could edit the image here, and you'll see that the link I can change to a media file or a custom URL, so I can change this to URL. And then I can change this, or I could put in the URL for this. So I could go over here to my dashboard, and I've got to get the URL, so let's open up the blog posts. And then from here, I'm going to choose which one I want. Which one was this one again? I'm doing the motorcycle one, right? Okay, so coolest pictures of bikes. And so I could say View, and I could copy this hyperlink, so Controller-Command-C. All right, and then I could paste it here, Controller-Command-V, Update to Save, and let's preview our changes. Okay, and so that is how you would link up one of these images. And so now you'll see I can hover over it, and I can click on it. And so if I were, looking at recent articles right here, I could click on this one, and now it'll take me straight to this article, which obviously has nothing in it. But I just wanted to show you guys, that's how you can hook up these, let's just say, featured images to the different blog posts. And you just repeat that process with the other ones. So you'd right-click on this one, choose the custom URL, go get your URL, and paste it right here. And then the last thing I'd recommend you do is you'd edit the image here, and I'd probably put on there like a hover style. And so maybe you change hover right here to be, I don't know, you could do a CSS filter maybe. Just something where if you hover your mouse over it, it looks like hovering it over it does something. There we go. And so now, let's change the duration as well to like maybe, there we go, it fades in. And then click on Update to save my work. Now it's obvious to someone who hovers their mouse over it, because right now you wouldn't know you could click on this because, there's nothing to click on. But when I hover over it, here, let me preview the changes here. So now when I hover, you're like, oh, I could click on this. And then you click on it, and now I've got my blog post here. All right, so let's close out of this guy, and we'll close out of Elementor as well and go back to the dashboard. All right, guys, so now that we're done with the blog page and it's hooked up to our site, we can click on it in the navigation and then also on the home page. Let's go ahead and move on to step number 8, which is to choose your affiliate products. So this is going to be a two-part right here for step number 8. And so the first part is going to be finding the products, and then the second part is going to be signing up for those products. And so I've already got a couple places that I would highly recommend that you would go look for your different affiliate links and things like that. And so we'll talk about those, and then I'm going to also talk about how to sign up for all of those. So the first, we're going to open up a new tab, and it's pretty obvious when I say it, but it's called Amazon. I wonder if you've heard of it. And then from their homepage, we're going to scroll all the way down to the very, very bottom. And right under here, Make Money with Us, you'll see Become an Affiliate right here. So we're going to click on it. And so this is where you can sign up to become an affiliate selling Amazon products on your website. And so basically we would get a link from Amazon, we put it onto our site. When people click on it, they go straight to Amazon's website and they buy the product, but we just get a commission for advertising the sale. So this is going to be the first way. You can click on sign up right here, and then you have to create an account. But let me go ahead and show you another way that I also recommend before I start going into Amazon, because this is the one that we're actually going to use for the website. Another one that you can use to go and find different affiliate programs and things like that is called ClickBank. And so we can see it right here, and we'll go to their homepage. Now, ClickBank is basically just like Amazon, but instead of selling products, they show you a ton of different affiliate programs that you can sign up for. And so it's completely free to use. We'll go over here to Start Here, and this is going to start asking you a bunch of questions like, have you ever done this before? What are your purposes? What do you want to do? So you can say, I'm new to all of this, or I want to promote products as an affiliate. And then we could say, sounds good. And then we could say, no, I'm just getting started. And they'll say, what's the biggest factor motivating you? Well, I want to earn some extra income. And then, do you currently have traffic? You could say yes if you already do, or if you don't, like what we're doing here in this tutorial, we'll just say no. And then, how do you plan to generate the traffic? Well, I'm going to use my website or my blog right here. And then, how did you hear about it? Well, you could say YouTube, and we'll say okay. And then last question, what's the email address we're going to use for the account? All right. So based on your answers, we highly recommend you join Spark. And so it's going to ask you to watch this video. This right here is an ad. This is totally an ad that you're watching right now. So you have to watch the video here. And we'll unmute the video, but I'm totally just going to pause it and skip all the way to the end. And I'll just mute it too. There we go. Keep playing. I think it's 12 minutes long. It's going to ask, do you want to join Spark today? And I'm going to say, no thanks. I'll pass on this offer. And then it's going to say again, wait, are you sure? Do you really want to skip over it? Really loud. And I'm going to say, no thanks. Just take me to my account. Because they're going to charge you $7 a month to sign up for it. I think it's coaching and stuff like that. Okay. So now here's where you sign up for free. So again, we clicked on sign up in the corner, ignore the 2 sales pitches that they got, and now we're on sign up. And from here, we can enter in all of our information here, and then you would click on continue. You'll join ClickBank, and then from here, you can search for any affiliate program under the sun. They have tons of different categories. They actually updated the site recently, and now you can't even look at the different categories until you create an account. So I'm not going to show it to you guys here. But as soon as you create the account, you can start looking through any category you could think of. So if we're on a motorcycle website where I'm trying to sell motorcycle gear, then I would search for a category for motorcycles, or maybe I'd look for helmets or for gear or gloves or something like that. And so that's how you would do it through ClickBank. But we're not going to use ClickBank. I'm actually going to be using, it looks like it opened new tabs. I'm going to be using Amazon. And so again, let me click on the back button here. We went to the bottom of their website and then clicked on Become an Affiliate. And now we're open to Amazon Affiliates. And then we'll click on Sign Up. And so now it's going to ask you to sign in. And so I'll see you guys in just a second. All right. And so next, once you go ahead and create an account or sign in, it's going to ask you to create your affiliate or your associate's account, as you can see right here. And so you're going to enter in all of this personal information, like your personal address, because they're trying to find out who are we going to be issuing payments to. So this is how you're going to get paid. So I'll see you guys in just a second. I'm going to fill this out. Okay, and so after you enter in your account information, it's going to ask you to, let's see here, your websites and mobile apps. So it's asking you to enter in the website that you're going to be advertising these products on. So we can go over to our website here, and we can copy our URL. So right there, Control-Command-C, and we'll paste it right here, Control-Command-V, and then we'll say add. All right, and so that's the website we're going to be using. So let's click on Next. All right. And next it's going to ask if this website is primarily directed at children under the age of 13. And we're going to say no, this is for adults, but whatever. Okay. And so next we're going to create our profile. So what is your preferred Amazon Associate Store ID? And so here I'm just going to say Moto Affiliate because my website is motoaffiliate.com. And so I'm just going to do that, all lowercase, no spaces. All right, and then we've got our website list, which is right here. And then what are your websites or mobile apps about? And so you can give a brief description on what we're going to be selling. So I could say that, okay, so something like that. That's just off the top of my head. All right, so we're going to scroll on down. Which of the following topics best describes your websites or mobile apps? And so we'll select a primary topic. And so let's see what we have here. All right, so we're going to use automotive and transportation because I think that's closest to motorcycles. And then we can choose a secondary if we wanted to, but honestly, I mean, none of this is really going to apply because obviously I'm doing it for motorcycles, and I don't think that any of these are actually going to work. Just want to make sure I look through all of these. Yeah, I think the primary is just going to be automotive transportation. And then what type of items do you intend to list on your website? And so I could maybe do some clothing on here, some electronics. Let's see, I could do like digital downloads maybe if there's like an ebook or something like that. Let's see here. I think that's going to be it, is clothing, shoes, and jewelry, and electronics, which I think helmets and gloves and things like that are going to go under clothing, if not just, gear, for lack of better words. But all right, and next it's going to ask what type of a website is your website. And so we'll click here, and we're going to say it's a blog right here. And then you can maybe do a secondary type if you want to. You could search, but honestly, blog is good enough. All right. Next, we've got traffic and monetization. So how do you drive traffic to your website? And so I'm going to select a few of these. We're going to use some SEO tactics like keyword research and things like that. We're going to use our blog. We're going to do maybe some social networks, like maybe I use Instagram and Facebook ads or something like that. Let's see here, some paid search maybe. We could develop an email list, so I could do something like this here. Okay. And so now we'll say, how do you utilize your website or app to generate income? And so you can look through all of these, but honestly, I'm just going to say that Amazon Associates is the only way that I'm going to monetize my site. Okay, so next it's going to ask, how do you usually build your links? And so I'm just going to say a blog editor because we're using WordPress right here. And then how many total unique visitors? We'll just say less than 500 people are going to come to my site per month for now. And then we can try and change that later. All right, so what's the primary reason for joining the program? To monetize my site. That's going to be, that's what we're here for. And then how did you hear about us? I'm just going to say the Amazon website for now. All right, so now let me go ahead and fill this out and click on Finish. All right, congratulations. I have created an Amazon Associates program account. And so I've got my unique Amazon Associate ID. And so it's just Moto Affiliate -20. And so it's pretty generic, but, gets the job done. We can enter in our payment and tax information. I'm just going to do that later because I want to start showing you guys, because you guys can enter in your own payment information on your own. I want to show you guys how to actually set up these products onto your website. All right, so here we are on the Amazon Associates dashboard. And so right here, you can already tell that you're going to be able to track all of your sales on your website. So you can see it in the form of a graph here. You'll get a summary for the month and things like that. So next, let's talk about how we can actually grab products from Amazon Associates and put them on our site as affiliate programs. So to do that, we would usually go over to product linking and then click on product links, and that's what we would do in the past. And then we'd have to go through the back end of Amazon Associates. But now Amazon introduced Site Stripe, which is basically any page I go to on Amazon, I'm going to have this little stripe right here if you're looking at where my mouse is. And so now anything I'm on, I can just click on Get Link, and then I can choose between a text link, an image that you could click on, or text and an image. And it just makes it really easy. So I'm going to open up a new tab and then just go to Amazon.com. And now I can choose whatever product I want from the entirety of Amazon.com, and then I can just put it onto my website whenever I want to. It's really easy. So let's just go ahead and click up here, and we can search for motorcycle helmets or something like that. Or let's do cruise control. So motorcycle cruise control. And then we can do the one that we were talking about earlier, the lock or the clamp or whatever, the throttle lock. And so I can take this one right here, and I could just click on it, open it up as if I were about to buy it. And then instead of buying it, all I do is I go up to the top left corner, and you'll see this Amazon stripe right here. And I can click on text. It's going to say my store ID is Moto Affiliate. The tracking ID is also Moto Affiliate. And I can just get my link right here. I've got the short link, which is this long. And then I've got the full link right here, which shows you the entire affiliate link, which is always really long. So it's really cool that they also show you a short link. And so all I have to do is just copy this right here, Control-Command-C. And then we can put this directly onto our website. And so let me just show you guys. If you go to a new tab and paste this, you'll see it's only that long. But if I hit enter, it's going to autofill with the entire actual affiliate link, which is huge. So I just wanted to show you guys that. Pretty cool. Okay, so now that we have this link, we can go ahead and move on to step number 9, which is to link your products to your blog posts. All right, so let's go ahead and do just that. I'm going to actually close out of this tab because now all I need is Amazon and I can just grab whatever link I want. So back on my WordPress dashboard, I can go over to my posts and open it up on a new tab. And then let's just choose the cruise control blog post that we were writing earlier. So I'm going to click on Edit. So there are a few different ways of putting affiliate links into your blog posts. And the first one would be creating a button, and then the other one would just be like actually creating a hyperlink based off of text. And so let's do the first one. So let's just say we were reviewing all the different types of cruise controls, and so this is the lock type, and then maybe down below, if I hit enter, Control or Command Z, let's go to the very bottom here and hit enter, and Control C. Let's just say that this is going to be a heading text, and then this one could be clamp style, just for lack of better words, and then we talk about it a little bit. So right here, if I wanted to, I could actually put a specific link or a button to this product here. And so the way I could do that is I could say, check this product out on Amazon, just like this. And I could say enter, and maybe I actually have the product image in here, so we can hit Control or Command C, and we'll paste it right here. And we can align it with the left-hand side, or my bad, let's put it into the actual paragraph. We'll reduce the size like crazy. And then right below it, we can enter in our button. And so you could say, you could click on the plus button right here, and then we're going to search for a button. And now there's a button on our blog post. And so we could say something like buy on Amazon, just like this. And then over here on the right-hand side, we can choose the styles of our button, so we can make all of the adjustments that we want to. So right now it's fill, but I could hover over this one, and you'll see that the example is right there. And so now it's an outline button, which is kind of hard to see. So I'm just going to go back to fill. And then we can change the width settings, the text color, and the background color, but I'm just going to leave it as my stock website colors, so that way this button changes as well as all the other colors whenever I change the global colors. And then when you're done making all the changes here, adding some padding or something like that, we can go over here to the link button right here and just paste our Amazon link that we got, which is our affiliate link. So back to our website, Control or Command V. Wait, I didn't copy it. So Control or Command C and Control or Command V. And there we go. Now our button is hooked up. So now I can click on Update and Preview. And so now someone is reading through this blog post, and they're looking at the lock type cruise control, and then also the clamp style, and they go, it'd be really cool to buy this product. Well, we can check it out on Amazon, so I can click on buy on Amazon, just like this. And then using the affiliate link, it's going to take them straight to that exact same product, and they can add it to cart and buy. And when they do, using this link, which is kind of like a special code for you, Amazon's going to know that you referred people over to this product, and so you'll get the commission on the sale. Close out of that tab. So there's another way that we can also link our affiliate link into this blog post. And so maybe we would be talking about the lock type here, and we'd actually want this entire title to be our affiliate link. Or maybe, we have right here, it says, check this product out on Amazon. And so right here, Amazon is going to be the actual link. Well, if you want, you can always just highlight the link or the text that you want to be a link, and then just click on the link button right here and do the same thing. Paste in the link. And now it's an actual hyperlink. So I can click on Update and let me preview my work. And so we'll scroll on down, and now they can see, check this product out on Amazon, which is kind of hard to see because the website colors are making the Amazon very light neon green. I could probably make that color a different color if I wanted to by going and customizing it. But you guys get the idea. Now I can just check this product out on Amazon. I click on the hyperlink. It uses my affiliate link and takes them straight to Amazon. Okay, so that is how you can link products to your blog posts. So let's go ahead and close out of this post, and I can also close out of Amazon for now and go back to the dashboard. And so now that we've done that, we've linked products to our blog post via either buttons or just links in the actual text. We can move on to step number 10, which is talk about growing your website or your blog. So let's talk about some keyword research that you can do for your website, whether it be trying to decide what you're going to write about in your articles or what topics in that specific niche that you've chosen is going to be the most popular. And so that's what you should prioritize in writing all your blog posts, because you can't write about everything. And writing really good detailed blog posts and articles takes time. And so you want to prioritize that time with the most important and up-to-date and prominent topics that you can. So I'm going to go up to a new tab and search for keywordtool.io. All right. And then I can search for whatever keyword I want. So let's just say I'm thinking about writing an article about motorcycle cruise controls, but I want to know kind of like what's important, what's prominent out there, what are people looking for? And so I can search for motorcycle cruise control. And then without even opting in to pay for the premium version where I can see all the search volume, the trends, the average CPC and stuff like that, I can already see a ton of different keywords that I didn't think about initially that I could probably include either in the title or in the headings of my blog posts. So right off the bat, you can see that motorcycle cruise control throttle lock could be a good one. Or maybe I want to talk about breakaway cruise controls or something like that. Or I could talk about the clamps or different types of cruise control. I could talk about aftermarket ones versus stock ones. You can kind of learn different things that you can talk about by searching keywords through Keyword Tool. Now, that's not to say that this kind of information over here, the search volume trends and stuff like that, isn't important. It's actually very crucial, and I definitely recommend trying to sign up for some kind of a paid service eventually when you start to kind of take off, because it really is critical to writing blog posts and things like that. You want to make sure that you're paying attention to the trends and all of your keyword research, trying to make sure that you're just getting your name out there as best as possible. And so you want to know what other people are looking for so that you can give them exactly what they're looking for. So another website that you can do this on, and it's a little bit more professional than just doing something like this with the free version, is called Ahrefs. And so let me go ahead and go to ahrefs.com. All right, and this is it right here. Now, they also have a paid version, and it gets kind of pricey. We can look over here at the pricing right here. And so you can see the light version and standard, it's already $99 versus $199. And so if you're just getting started, that's okay. You don't have to pay for the premium version. I'm going to show you guys their free tool down below in just a second, but I just wanted to show you guys, it is a little expensive, but the benefits are just incredible. Being able to see all of the information that you need when you're trying to plan out what blog posts you're going to write, and especially when you start having a list of many blog posts, it's really important to see which ones rank, which ones don't, and be able to prioritize your titles in such a way. So let's scroll down to the very bottom of the website, and we can come down here to Bing Keyword Tool. And don't worry, we're not actually going to use Bing. We're going to select Google right here instead of Bing. And from here, we can use their free keyword generator the same way that we use Keyword Tool, but the Ahrefs free version actually shows you a little bit of things like the keyword difficulty, the volume, and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and search for motorcycle cruise control. And then I'm not a robot, or at least I don't think I am. Perfect. And now down below, you can see a ton of different keywords as well. So I could look for DIY motorcycle cruise controls, aftermarket, the best motorcycle cruise controls. So I might want to actually include best in my title, or maybe I want to say top 5 or something like that, but I actually don't see top 5 ranking that high. So I might want to say best motorcycle cruise control instead of top 5. And so if I go back to my posts and open it up on a new tab, let's see, I said top 5, and so now I just learned that I might want to say best instead, or just motorcycle cruise control in general, but I'm actually ranking for both of these, because one says motorcycle cruise control, and the other one says best cruise control. And so if I came over here and edited my post, so top 5 motorcycle cruise controls, I've got the first one right here, and then I also can have the second one, so I can double up here. And I could say best motorcycle cruise controls 2020. Let's click on update. Perfect. And so I can go back to Ahrefs. And so now you'll notice that you can actually rank for multiple keywords with the same title. It's pretty simple. Now over here on the right-hand side, we actually get to see with the free version for Ahrefs, which we don't get to see on keywordtool.io, we can see the keyword difficulty right here. It's a 100-point scale, and so this is 39 out of 100. This is 3 out of 100. And then I can also see the volume, which is an estimation of monthly number of searches of keywords over the last 12 months. So 1,300 people over the last 12 months per month have looked up this title. So 1,300 people per month. But you also want to pay attention to the keyword difficulty. This is something that in the paid version, they give you a lot more information on and not just the number of the keyword difficulty. But we can see that 39 is already kind of getting close to 50%, which is in the yellow zone. And then 3 is just ridiculously easy. And so that's down at 3. It's green. It's easy. We can rank for it. So when the keyword difficulty is higher, it just means that this is a very highly sought after keyword and that a lot of people are searching for it and a lot of other people are ranking for it. And so in order to rank for this title on your website, you'd probably have to get a lot more backlinking. You'd have to have a lot more traffic and so on. So it's really important to look through here. I can't tell you how crucial it is to constantly do keyword research and find out what topics are prominent in your niche. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, there's another way that you can grow your website, and that's by growing your email list. So let's talk about that next. One thing that you could do is open up your website on a new tab, and instead of just having two buttons right here, which I already showed you guys how to do, you could actually have some kind of a sign-up form or like an opt-in form so that people can send their email to you and opt in to be on your emailing list. And then you can send out emails to them weekly or bi-weekly or every day or something like that, where you send them information related to this niche. So maybe I'm sending out a bunch of emails about updated products or product releases on motorcycle helmets or all the newest, latest, fastest bikes or something like that. And so my email list, I would constantly send emails out to them, ever so often and try and update them with stuff. And then after I send them a bunch of emails, hopefully I can try and convert one of those to a sale. So let's go ahead and talk about trying to insert one of those sign-in forms right here. So the first thing I can do is go to Elementor real quick, and let's just go ahead and put one into my website. And then I'm going to go up here to the search bar and look for one called WP Forms right here. And we're actually going to use this one right here, the Essential Add-ons WP Forms, because there's a little bit more customization that you can do to it. So let's drag it into my website here. Perfect. And so now it's going to ask me which form I want to use, and there's already a contact form, but we're going to have to create one. So let's go ahead and do that while this is still open. So I'm going to click on Update to save my work there. We'll go back to the dashboard, and then over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see WP Forms, and we're going to go over to Add New and open this on a new tab as well. And then we can choose from all the different templates that they have here. I'm going to click on Newsletter right here, Newsletter Sign-Up Form, and I'm going to say Use this template. And then I've got name and email right here. And so I'm actually going to completely remove name. So just click on it and then click on the trash can right here and say, yes, I want to delete this field. And so now all I have is just email, and I want them to basically see some text that I'm going to put on my website that says, hey, if you're interested in learning more about motorcycles or staying up to date on all this information, sign up for my email list. And then all I'm going to have is this little text box for them to put in their email and sign up with me. So that being done, I'm just going to click on save right here, because that's all I need is just this little text box right here. And so now I can go back to my website and refresh the page. And now I can go ahead and edit my WP Forms box right here. And I can choose my newsletter sign-up form. And then just like that, it's going to pop up. And now you can see newsletter sign-up form. You can barely see it though. And there's my text box and my submit button right there. Now I'm going to hide the title just like this. And I'm also going to hide the label here. If you wanted to, you could leave the label. That's completely up to you. Actually, I will put it there just so that you can tell that it's email right here. And then all I'm going to do is go over to the Style tab and make a couple adjustments here. The first thing I'm going to do is center the entire form, which you can barely tell did anything because obviously it stretched over the entire thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is center the button. So scroll on down to Submit button. And then I can center this one as well just by clicking on Center right here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is kind of add some padding on both sides so it kind of shrinks up a little bit. So I'm going to go to the Advanced tab and then unlink the values, and then on the right and the left, I'll probably put like something like 300 maybe. Yeah, that should be good. 300 and 300 on the left. Just like that. All right, we'll click on Update to save. Okay, so that's how you add your contact form to your website. And so if I preview here, you'll see that people can see my homepage, and they'll have this little contact form where they can type out their email and then click on Submit. Now, another thing that I forgot to do is add the text right here. So if anything, I can just add a text widget, just as an example. Again, I'm going to delete this later because it's starting to get pretty crowded here, but I just wanted to show you guys that I can go over here and change the Style tab, and I'm going to change it to white text. So like this. And then I could type something like, okay, perfect. So something like that. And the last thing I'll do is go back to the Style tab and center up my text just like this. Okay, so now when they come to the website, click on Update to save my work. They'll come here looking to read blog posts about motorcycles, and they'll see, hey, do you want to stay up to date on all of this information? Go ahead and sign up with your email. And so they'll put their email in here at whatever.com and then click on Submit right here. And then obviously these buttons wouldn't be here, and I might even remove this title right here. That way it's not as cluttered. But again, I just wanted to show you guys that that's how you would do it. And so we'll close out of this, and we can go back to WP Forms. Now, the way that we can actually manage all of the emails that are about to come in, because basically all we did was put a little box for people to email you their email. That's all that's going to happen. And so now you want a management system that's going to take care of all those emails and basically allow you to email all of those people different things that you want to do. So we're going to go back to WP Forms here, and we'll go down to the Marketing tab over here on the left-hand side. And you're going to see something called Constant Contact. And so Constant Contact is what we're going to be signing up with. So we're going to click on this one right here. And then it's going to ask if you want to try Constant Contact for free. And so you'll say yes. Let's go ahead and click on this, and it's going to take you over to a new tab where you can sign up for Constant Contact. And so basically, Constant Contact is just going to help you grow your email list. It's just an email list management system. And so we're going to click up here, sign up for free. Now, just a heads up, this is a paid service. I'm just signing up for the free trial. But I definitely recommend having some kind of an email management system. That way, when you start to acquire an email list, you can, start sending out mass emails to all these people, and you can schedule them. And, once you have your email list, that's kind of the name of the game with affiliate marketing, is trying to build an audience to sell things to. And so this is just one way of building an audience. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up real quick and enter in a password here. Okay, so now you'll see that my account has been successfully created. Perfect. So now I can go over here to WP Forms, and I can click on Add New Connection. And so we're basically going to link Constant Contact to my form on my website. And so now it's going to ask, do you want to enter in a nickname? And so we could just call this the newsletter opt-in form or whatever. And then we could say OK. And so now for my newsletter opt-in form, I have to add the authorization code. And so it's pretty easy. I just click here to register with Constant Contact. And then in a little dialog box, it's going to actually open up Constant Contact. So I can just log right in with the username and password that I literally just created. And then it's going to ask if we want to allow access. And so we just say yes. And then it's going to give me the code. And so I just copy paste it right here into my website. And then I can add the Constant Contact account nickname. And so I'm just going to put newsletter and then click on connect. Okay, perfect. Now the next thing we're going to do is drop down here to list fields, and here's email, and we're just going to make sure that email is selected. So those match up, and we're good to go. So we can click on save right here. And that's it. Now you have set up your Constant Contact account and you've linked it to your website. Done. So now we can just click on the X right here. And it's going to take us back to our WordPress dashboard, but we're just inside of WP Forms. And so now if we go back to our website, anytime someone enters in their email right here, it's going to automatically send that email over to my Constant Contact account. And so now let's go back to Constant Contacts here, and we're going to click on Go to My Account right here. And then we're going to click on Start Exploring right here, and it's going to take you straight to your dashboard. And so this is basically the dashboard hosting your email list. So if we go over to Contacts right here and click on it, this is where you're going to see a list of all of the different emails as people subscribe. And so every time someone enters in their email into their the text field right here, it's going to be added to this list. And so now you'll have a giant list of all of the people who want to hear everything motorcycle. So anytime you want to send an email to your email list, just a mass, informational email or whatever, you'll go over here to campaigns. And then under campaigns, we're going to go over to create. And then we're going to choose an email, because that's what we're going to do is an email campaign. All right, and then from here, we can scroll through all of the different email templates that they have, and they've got a ton of them. And then we can click on it, and just like with Elementor, we can completely change around everything on the actual email. Now, you guys can choose whichever one is right for you. Like if you want this, and then all you have to do is switch your the picture here, and you like the colors, that's fine. But I'm just going to show you guys the blank template. So we'll click on this one right here. And then now, similar to Elementor, you've got all of these widgets over here on the left-hand side, and you guys can create whatever kind of an email you want. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail here because this is just a whole other video in and of itself, but I just wanted to show you guys this is how you would create your email campaign. You start it, you select email, you come here, and then you can completely customize it, put all the text and everything that you want into, and then click on continue and send it to everybody. So that is how you can manage your email opt-in list or your newsletter. And so let's go back to WP Forms here. And the last thing that you can do is kind of customize your form if you want to. The first thing is you could change the text of the button if you really want to. And the way you do that is you just go back to WP Forms and you can edit the newsletter right here. And then you can go over to your email, just click on it. And then from here, you're going to go over to the submit button. So you just click on it. And it's going to go to the settings tab, the general settings tab. And from here, you can change the submit button to whatever you want. So maybe you want to change this to subscribe, just like this. And then we can click on save. And then we go over to Elementor and we refresh the page. Perfect. Now it says subscribe because this is an email subscription right here. So that's pretty cool. And then also, if you guys want to make some color changes or anything, you can just right click on it. Same thing as anything else on your website. And then you can go over here to the style tab and you can make all of the changes that you want. Obviously, we just made changes to the submit button. So if you want to change around the colors, or if you want to add some kind of a margin, or change the button around completely, you can, or you can do hover animations and stuff like that. And you can also hide labels, you can put placeholders, you can do everything over here. Okay, and so that is another way that you can kind of grow your website, is by starting your email list and developing those campaigns and sending it out to everybody. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this website. If you haven't already done so, be sure to click on the link in the top left corner to get a massive discount on your hosting plan and a free domain name. And if you're looking to learn some really cool web design tips and make your website even better, check out this playlist in the top right corner. I'll see you there.